Well, this morning on Today, an exceptional number of exceptional guests. We have with us, for your edification, Fu Manchu, Dr. Strangelove, Henry Orient, the March Hare, plus the stars of the Mouse That Roared, I'm All Right Jack, Lolita, the legendary radio Gong Show. We also have Inspector Clouseau of the Pink Panther movies, and as a special feature, we have Chauncey Gardner from the current hit movie Being There, starring our most special guest of all, Mr. Peter Sellers, who has been nominated for an Academy Award for his performance in Being There. Good morning, all of you.
Well, good morning, Gene. I can't top that. There's nothing else to say after that. Thank you and goodbye. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Of all of those roles, and you have been in more than 50 films in the last 30 years, do you have a single favorite role or film?
Well, aside from Being There, I think the film I most enjoyed being in was Dr. Strangelove. Two particular characters. Aside from that, Being There was an ambition, you know, that I wanted to do all my life.
What did you like about Strangelove?
I liked the character of the doctor, and I liked the character of the group captain, Mandrake, yes. Those two, and lovely memories of Stanley Kubrick and Terry Southern. And
do you ever go back and see your movies? Do you like to watch yourself in the movies? Do you watch them on television, or do you go to the theaters and watch your movies?
No, I went last night to see Being There because I hadn't seen it with an audience. And it was very interesting to see the reaction, you know, on various levels. Because the audiences here are very sophisticated. They pick up very quickly, I notice, on little innuendos.
Really?
Yes, yes.
In different parts of the world, you think audiences act differently to the same film?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen that in other parts of the world, but other films, they do, yes.
What's the difference between a California audience and a London audience, for instance?
Well, a London audience and a New York audience are identical. I mean, if you're taking a West End audience, right, identical. They're very hip. And I would say, like in Westwood, about the same.
About the same.
But you get out of those areas in England, and you're in a totally, you've got to be careful what you show them.
Who are you talking as now? Somebody told me you have no voice. Time magazine's cover story insisted that there is no Peter Sellers, that you are only a mass of characterizations, and that inside there is no body.
That's true, yes.
How did you react to that?
Well, I didn't react. I just mouthed things. And it's not entirely true. It comes from working for years in radio, Gene.
Who am I talking to now?
Let me see. He's not in, I'm sorry. Anybody there? No.
How does somebody who comes from London talk?
Well, I mean, there are so many London accents. It's difficult to say. I mean, there's... I mean, you know, people think of Cockney accent. There are 5 Cockney accents.
All right.
And there are other accents that are also from London. And then you have cultured London
Well, let's
accents.
hear them.
Well, you want to hear them?
Sure, I want to hear some accent. I want to hear you speak various Englishes.
The people over here have difficult enough time understanding Michael Caine, so I don't know.
I'll put subtitles on as you speak.
Well, I'll tell you straight out, Gene. What I like about you and your show is you're frank. No, I don't mean like the name. I mean, what you say is frank. Now, I likes that because it gets to the core, see? And when you get to the core, you get the essence. Precious bodily essence.
No, that's sort of that's an old sort of Cockney accent.
And what happens when you get into...
Oh, do you mean one of theirs? One of the Hooray Harrys? Yes, yes. The Hooray Harrys, yes. Well, they're very good on TV. And they're quite erudite, you know, and there's it's very interesting, Mr. Sharrett, that you should come on the show. How long have you been doing your show in New York, is it?
It's been 64 years.
64 years, how absolutely amazing.
And you haven't asked me a new question yet.
No, well, of course, I've only just started myself.
I see.
It's just that I went to Oxford, that's it.
And what happens when you have to sell something? What do you say when you have to sell a product on television? How do you cue the control room?
All those TV selling voices are more or less the same, you know. They're the same all over the world. Get so-and-so today, you know. Even in Russia, I did one once about cigarettes. Comrades, smoke Bruchkins. Bruchkins are not merely the coolest, the finest, and the best cigarettes in Russia, They are the only cigarettes. That's
And we will return with Comrade Sellers after a little station break. We're here with Peter Sellers, the star, the Academy Award-nominated star of Being There, a wonderful movie written by Jerzy Kosinski based on Kosinski's book, A Picture with Which I Am in Love. It's a wonderful film. Do you feel lucky or unlucky in life? Some people just say whatever they do turns out badly. Other people say whatever they do turns out well.
I think if you're an actor, Gene, you know, it goes in patches. It goes in patches.
Was there one lucky break for you? Was there one turning point in your career?
No, I mean, I started off, I was a musician first, see? And then after I gave that up and followed the profession my mother wanted me to follow, which was in the theater, I then wanted to get out of that into movies. Got into movies, was very successful in the early days, and then hit a very bad patch. One of those patches where people cross over the road in order to avoid the meeting, you know what I mean? And
then how did you get back into the good patch again? Was there one picture that turned it around?
Yes, The Return of the Pink Panther.
So how does he sound?
Inspector Clouseau. Well, you know, I'm often asked that question. It's very interesting you should ask that. But you see, with the grey hair, you know, and without my minke, it is very difficult to do it in this small room with all these lights around in here. Yes.
Now, in your current film,
Yes.
you are a blank person, a person whose life is entirely shaped by television, who has never been in the outer world.
Yes.
And how does Chauncey Gardiner sound for those who have not yet had the pleasure of seeing Being There?
Well, it's very difficult, you see. The problem was the computer, if you remember in the book says, they tried his voice on the computer and it fooled the computer. It didn't come from any particular province or area. So, I mean, that's a real test. I mean, to start with, it blows your mind to try and think, how does he talk? If he talks like they do on television, if he watches television, anyone can do that. So he's not credible, right?
Right.
I mean, people meeting him would say, oh, you know, loony. So what does he sound like? I mean, I had a terrible time with that one. So I spoke with a sort of accent, vaguely based on Stan Laurel. Yes, vaguely in the background. And Chance the gardener says things like, if you plant a tree in the garden, it will grow if you water it. But if you do not water it, it will surely die.
That's magnificent. That's exactly.
Now, I think that if Stan Laurel said it, if you plant a tree in the garden, just a minute, it will grow. If you do not water it, it will not. Who are you to say? You know what I mean? You get that sort of byplay.
There's been a lot of misunderstanding about. No, that's excellent. No, that's absolutely perfect. Tell me what you think Being There is about, Peter Sellers.
Oh, God, no. I know, I've been asked that question, you know.
You have?
Yes, I have.
You know how to hurt a guy.
No, I think it's all about, I have to get serious here, you
Yes,
see.
please. Yeah, very serious.
I think it's about the, I think it's Jerzy Kosinski's comment on power and corruption and the triumph of the innocent man, as Jesus Christ said, you know, the triumph of the simple man over power, over wealth, over corruption, and it's probably a comment on that because you can't get any more a person more simple than Chance.
Do you consider it a comedy?
In a way, I never sort of. It's not one of those guffaw comedies, no.
Is it the most satisfying job of acting you've done on the screen?
The most difficult.
The most difficult?
Yes, except for working with that incredible actor, Melvin Douglas, and who I've admired for years, absolute years.
So you're both Academy Award nominees?
Yes.
Have you your speech prepared?
Oh.
And the winner is Peter Sellers. What are you going to say?
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Oh, you're not?
No. I've got, I'm cutting this thing, you see.
Fu Manchu.
Right. And
It's
so,
your new movie, is Fu Manchu.
Fu Manchu.
And you're editing it now.
yes.
First time you ever directed a Chinese movie?
It is, and I'm eating a lot of food right now, Chinese food, to get into it. You want to ask me about Dr. Strangelove?
No, I want to thank you
Oh,
very much for being here. And in one of
Yeah.
your precious accents, I wish you would tell me how happy it has made you to be here on the Today program.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what I want to say very quickly.
An American.
Yeah, I tell you why I say that, because, I mean, I always wanted to be on a show like this, you know? And, you know, to see all these guys standing around here, I get a great kick out of that. You know how it is?
I know how it is.
I'm looking for a guy with a sick mind, a beautiful body. You know what it is?
Peter Sellers, the star of Being There. And now a message from America's full-service bankers, which would not give this guy a loan.